What's up, everybody? Richard back today with another episode of the Warped Report. And this week we have, well, nothing like too crazy going on. Okay, there's some festival announcements. There was some guy named Chris Barnes going a little nuts. But hey, not a whole lot of like big news, but there's a lot of things to talk about, including, well, real quick, my dudes in 1056 played their first show recently. Big congrats to them. Hold on. Okay. And I also released my debut single for my new project, Bitter Bliss, the song titled Dopamine Go to Sleep. Very excited about that, but enough about me. Let's dive into the news. And yeah, like I said, first off, Chris Barnes. Okay, so where to begin with this? Yeah, so Chris Barnes, if you do not know, this is a little bit outside of the Warped Tour music realm, but I did want to talk about this because I thought this was like the big news of the week, right? So Chris Barnes is the vocalist of a band called 6 Feet Under, but he used to be in Cannibal Corpse, back in the 90s. And, George Corpse Grinder Fisher, who is the new vocalist, well, I shouldn't say the new vocalist for Cannibal Corpse, but, like, he was the vocalist after Chris Barnes, right? He was on this video podcast talking about death metal vocalists, and Chris Barnes said of the video, I just watched a death metal podcast on YouTube that was done about a week ago with the top death metal vocalists. It made me physically ill. I despise what this genre has become. And then he kind of got into a little spat here with Jamie Josta, where Jamie asked him to come on the podcast. He said, no thanks. He said, weak. He said, ain't here to play that game. You have fun, though, bro. He said, you're the one playing games. You hate what the genre's become, but do you ever promote or discuss new bands or try to help build anything in the genre? And then he said, LOL, promote, LOL, ha, 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 ha. Yeah, listen, man, I try not to speak ill of anybody, but I'm just going to give it to you straight. I listened to a couple of songs off the most recent 6 Feet Under album, and listen, I know that I'm not a world-class vocalist myself. However, this guy, I have no idea what he was doing. And I'm not just saying that because of what he has said here. You know, I'm not a big death metal guy, but I legitimately do not know what his vocals were on that last record. So, hey, interesting stuff there from the death metal world, but we're going to go back into the Warped Tour realm a little bit here. The initial lineup for Furnace Fest 2022 has been announced. Right now, in terms of pricing, it's a 3-day pass available for $249 plus tax until February 28th, and then on March 1st, tickets increase to $269 plus tax. And it's going to be It's going to be going on from September 23rd to the 25th at Sloss Furnaces in Birmingham, Alabama, of course. And here's, some of the announcements we got here. We won't go through all of them, but we got the Ghost Inside, Acacia Strain, Kublai Khan, Elliot, Bleeding Through, Shadows Fall, Wrist Meat Razor. There's a lot of, some modern bands and even some older bands making a comeback for this festival. So Furnace Fest 2022 has been announced. Next up, Emo's Not Dead Cruise. And, as you can see by the headline here, Dashboard Confessional, Under Oath, Thursday, and more. This cruise will launch on November the 8th in Los Angeles, California, and head to Ensenada, Mexico, before returning to Los Angeles. The pre-sale for this kicked off this morning, which for this article was January 27th, and the sale began the next day, January 28th. So far right now, these are the bands that we have announced. Dashboard Confessional, Under Oath, Newfound Glory, Thursday, Plain White Tees, Silverstein Emery, Hawthorne Heights, William Ryan Key, Cassidy Pope, and Your Broken Hero. So that'll be going on from the 8th to the 12th. I forgot to add the 12th in there. Next up, Rockfest 2022 lineup announced. Taking place January 14th to the 16th at the festival grounds in Cadott, Wisconsin. The 14th, some bands that obviously, stick out to me. Disturbed, Lamb of God, Avatar, Spearbox, Fire from the Gods, Dead. Let's see, who else here? I'm not really too familiar with a lot of these other bands. Okay, Friday the 15th, you got Evanescence, Hailstorm, The Pretty Reckless, Nothing More, Black Veil Brides, Butcher Escape the Fate. Let's see, who else? Volumes, okay. And then Saturday, Shinedown, Mudvayne, Motionless in White, From Ashes to New. Yeah, those are the bands that kind of stick out. Starset is going to be there as well. So yeah, July 14th to the 16th at the festival grounds in Cadott, Wisconsin. Next up, yeah, we're going to talk about this new single here from MESHUGGAH. MESHUGGAH is back, baby. They released their new single titled The Abysmal Eye, and it's the first single off of their upcoming record, Immutable, which will be out April 1st through Atomic Fire Records. I did listen to the song. I did a reaction to it live on my Twitch channel. Actually, I was going to upload it to YouTube, but you know what happens on Twitch sometimes is that the audio gets muted, which I expected, but I didn't expect it immediately, which it did, so I lost the reaction video. But super genty as always, and I loved it. It was a track that, I'm not an instrumental guy, but this is an instrumental that I could listen to on repeat. It was that infectious. But yeah, the album itself is set to have 13 tracks, and it'll be out April 1st. Next up, Howard Jones joined Killswitch Engage on stage to perform 3 songs. In case you weren't aware, their tour, Light the Torch, who Howard Jones is a part of now, kicked off their tour with Killswitch Engage across the United States on January 28th. And in the first night, Howard Jones jumped on stage to join Jesse for Rose of Sharon, The End of Heartache, and The Signifier. And there is a video out there for you to watch if you want to take that in. Okay, next up, Under Oath have invited Straight from the Path onto their tour with Bad Omens. Well, they're bringing on Straight from the Path and Bad Omens to replace Every Time I Die. As you guys know, Every Time I Die has split up, so they needed a fill-in for this tour. So rather than one band, they call in 2, Straight from the Path and Bad Omens. That tour will be kicking off February the 18th in Dallas, Texas, and concluding on March the 25th in Atlanta, Georgia. Another tour here, Convictions. They're going to be touring their most recent EP, I Won't Survive, with support from Earthgroans, Bloodlines, and Exit Wounds. That tour will be starting March 18th in Houston, Texas, and concluding on April the 10th in Chicago, Illinois. Got another album here. We went over the MESHUGGAH album. We got a Monuments album, though, In Status. That'll be coming out April 15th through Century Media Records. And right now we have 10 tracks announced with a couple features from Nima Asghari and Spencer Sotelo. So that'll be exciting there. It looks like there's Lavos, which I know came out. And I believe that's the only track that has come out from this album so far. But yeah, so yeah, Nima Asghari, He Knows, and then X Fell Silent, X Monuments, Spencer Sotelo, you know, who's obviously in Periphery. And then Mick Gordon, who featured on, I feel like it was Lavos. He contributed to that song as well, which is an awesome song that is actually out right now. Another album set to come out is Angel Maker, in their album Sanctum. It's going to be dropping on March 11th through Blood Blast Distribution. In addition to the 6 new tracks, the album will feature the 4 2-track EPs that have come out in, you know, kind of a similar release structure as the Acacia Strain, with their most recent record. But yeah, this album will have 14 tracks in total, and again, it'll be dropping on March 11th via Blood Blast Distribution. Next up, Architects are going to be releasing a record for those that wish to exist at Abbey Road. It's a live album. It'll be coming out on March 25th, and they actually released their live track of Impermanence from live from Abbey Road as well recently. And yeah, this one will have 15 tracks on it, and again, due out March 25th. Now to talk about some other singles that came out, we talked about MESHUGGAH, but Josh Travis, you know, of Amur, formerly of Glass Club, formerly of Tony Danza, Tap Dance Extravaganza, he put out a single titled Web of Lies featuring Andy Sizik and Steven Taranto. This track is absolutely phenomenal. It has those, you know, Danza, or, you know, it has that signature Josh Travis sound, but then Steven comes in for like almost a minute-long solo, and Andy's vocals are absolutely phenomenal in this song, so you've got to check it out. Northlane put out a new track titled Plenty, which is going to be off of their album Obsidian, which is going to be coming out April 1st. I got to be honest with you, man, I'm not feeling this new direction with Northlane. You know, I felt like this song was kind of just bland. You know, I didn't really have anything there for me to hang on to. You know, their other track that they released before this, Echo Chamber, kind of had a similar feel to me. So right now they're 0 for 2, but listen, Northlane are the legends. They're OGs, if you will. So I'm going to always give them the benefit of the doubt, always going to treat each release, you know, song by song rather than, you know, using one song as the catalyst for my opinion about a whole discography. So I'll keep listening as long as Northlane keeps putting music out. Another Australian band that put out a song, Thornhill. They recently released their single Archangel, and this was mixed by George Lever, who also did Sleep Token and Loathe in the past. And I got to be honest with you, man, you know, I like their other track, Casanova, but this one here was very drony for me. No real hook, nothing to really sink my teeth into. So right now they're 1 for 2 with me, whereas Northlane is 0 for 2. But I'm really looking forward to the future direction of both of these bands. But, you know, Archangel just wasn't it for me. But the music video is absolutely phenomenal. So you've got to check out the music video at the very least, and maybe you'll enjoy the song. Lastly, Vane FM put out a new track featuring Jeff Rickley from Thursday. The title of the track was Fear and Nonfiction. This is a pretty cool track. I did not expect the clean vocals, and I didn't even, when I listened to this, I didn't even know there was a feature. So now I'm thinking that the clean vocals were Rickley, you know, Jeff Rickley from Thursday. But yeah, this was definitely a cool track. I enjoyed it, but I did like their other single, the lead single, The Killing Womb, a lot more. But with that, everybody, that does it for this week's episode of the Warped Report. A lot of stuff to get to. I'm glad we got to talk about the Chris Barnes situation a little bit. But yeah, until next week, I'll see you guys later, man. I'm enjoying the release of my new track. You know, I'm getting ready for some new 1056 as always. But anyways, guys, till next week, I'm Richard. This is the Warped Report. See you next week. Same bad time, same Out of Line YouTube channel. Peace.